Morning. We're going to be discussing essential oil basics today, and my machine is playing up. So whilst you all sort of jump on board there, I will go and grab the information here because I can't get it up where I wanted it. But that's okay. It's all good. That's the beauty of doing things live, isn't it? That it always throws a challenge at us. And that's all right. We're all capable and able to manage with those. So whilst we wait for a few people to jump on, I'll give you a minute, and then I will get stuck into the class. Gotta love machinery. You think you're technology savvy, and then you have to do something, and you realise you've got no idea. But all good. Righto, so today I thought I've been doing all sorts of classes and playing with all sorts of ideas and different things, and today I thought it was really time to get back to some basics, like just exactly what they are. Quite a few people met me at the expo and know that I do markets and things, so I've had a lot of people that come along and see what I have, and we have a 2-minute chat, but I haven't actually done a whole class on the basics for quite a while. So that is today's plan. I'm just looking for something to hold the phone because I need my hands. Wonder Woman to the rescue. Okay, this should work. Okay, is it going to work? Okay, Wonder Woman to the rescue, and my phone is now supported, and I can read and grab the things that I need to as we go. So if you did that was my coffee, sorry. If you did happen to go onto my website and have a quick look, there is a free booklet there that's downloadable, and it's called Essential Oils for Beginners. Now, I'm not going to go through the book, but the book is there, and it's got lots and lots of information on where the oils come from, what they are, why we use them, the science behind them. It's got some of the stories of essential oils leading right up to the scientist that put his hand in a vat of lavender by mistake because he burnt it during a playing around making perfume. He burnt his hand. Hello Lynette, hello Charmaine. So that book, like I said, it's about 16 pages, but that's available there. I'm not going to go into that much detail today. We're really just going to look at some absolute basics as to what essential oils are. So I've been a little bit on my story. So I've been using oils for about 25 years now, and was just one of those freak moments of time. I've been talking a lot about moments in time lately because that's what we have. We have memories, but we have these moments in time that change our life, and I had one. It was a 2-day process. The first day we didn't even realise was part of it until the second day when I met this woman who I had literally spent the entire day before in the same space doing exactly the same thing in the same house with the same people, and I didn't even know her. We never met, we never had a conversation, we didn't do anything. But we worked out later that was because she had a message for me the following day. The following day, I went to an oil party. I'd never used oils, I wasn't going to go. It was just one of those moments in time, and the weirdest conversation started, a conversation that is etched in my memory that was the beginning of my healing journey, of my oil journey, of natural therapies, of discovering Reiki and all the other modalities that in that first 10 years, because it worked in decades, and that's sort of how my life works. I find that each decade has some major change in it, and as I was turning 30, or just after I'd turned 30, this moment in time happened, and that 10 years was fully, like, whilst I was trying to have babies during that time. It was a lot of self-awareness and a lot of self-learning. I learnt Reiki with Kerry Stroud out at Smile Within. That's where I met Renee Gould. I did Touch for Health with Gavin Hyde. I did many courses. I did Australian Bushflowers with Ian White. I started to learn and gather up my toolkit and learn about the oils, and because I was doing Party Plan at the time, I went and got a diploma so that I knew what I was talking about and that people would have confidence that I knew what I was talking about as well. Teaching had always been my goal. It had always been my dream, and at 17, a moment in time changed that one, so I never became the teacher that I had always planned to be. But at 30, I was handed this opportunity that I then ran with, and I think I was about 35 when I walked home with a check from being paid to teach, which just blew my mind. And I only got one, but I don't care. I got a check to that proved that I could teach and that I did know what I was talking about. And for me, that was another big moment in time. My 40s changed from my 30s, and in my 40s I saw myself walk away from oils and things a little bit, because by 40 I had worked out how to do the baby thing, and I had two in very short succession. So one 20 days after I turned 40 and one 4 days before I turned 42. So that was a bit of a life shock, and well, not a shock, I mean I planned it, but it was still an energetic shock in my life. And so I then sort of went down the depression route for a little while, and still struggle with that on some days, but we're getting there, and the oils have been amazing for me now that I'm back using them with that. So about 5 years ago I was running a market and I actually needed some oils, and so that's when I came across doTERRA and started using them. Everything that my original mentors had taught me was there, and not just was it there, it was there with a lot of education and support behind it, which was amazing, and why I feel so in tune with this particular company. So now that thank you. I just saw Charmaine's remark saying superwoman. Yeah, we have moments of that where you sort of just wander. You sit down and take stock of everything, and you kind of go, how did I get here? And, you know, like, it can be a very deep conversation, but I try to look for the positive in everything, and I don't have to have a positive in every situation the moment that it happens, but down the track I need to find a positive for whatever adversity, whatever thing happened, and through that, and then honouring that learning and honouring that's how I move forward and try to be the best I can, or do the best I can, or just, you know, live basically. So it's all good. Anyway, essential oils. Welcome, Diane. We have 3 people watching now, so woohoo! Haven't done a class for 3 for a while, so let's go with that. So we are talking essential oils, and I love them. They come from plants and trees and flowers and different things, and they work on our physical and emotional health, which is great. Okay, we use them hundreds of ways that you can use an oil, but the 3 basics are aromatically, so we breathe them in. Okay, we put them in a diffuser. Oh, 6 watching, excellent. Okay, so we can use them aromatically. We can put them in a diffuser. Okay, I didn't grab a diffuser. I'm not that organised today. Oh, there's one over there. Put them in a diffuser, turn them on, and get the steam going through the house, and that's great. People sort of go, oh, which way's the best? For me, it depends on the circumstance. Okay, so at the moment, for example, in your house, it would be brilliant to be diffusing On Guard or any of the oils that affect, that can fight germs and things like that, and also ones that can help with our sanity and help with balance. So putting those in a diffuser is great. If I've got an upset belly, the diffuser's really not going to make that much difference, but I can put the oil on my belly, or I can breathe it in and get it into my body itself. So the physical working and using it physically is very different to putting it in my diffuser. They'll both work beautifully doing what they do, but a diffuser's not going to fight the infection in my hand or get rid of my, might with the headache a little bit, but the headache is here. And so I find if it's an actual physical thing that I can see or feel, then I need to use the oils that way. And if it's a general thing and I just need to, clear the air, I need to balance, I need to be uplifted, whatever, then the diffuser is great. And wild orange and On Guard is beautiful, and purify, perfect, and that'll help keep the air nice and clean. So Lynette's on the right track there with that one. The wild orange is, I forgot to grab it. I did a class last night and didn't have it, and I've forgotten to grab it again. But the wild orange is another one, like in your diffuser, it's great. It helps with that uplifting. But one drop on your hand like this just brings you, like, picks you up so brilliantly. So it just depends where you're at, what tools you have on hand as to which way is the best way to use them. Carrier oil topically is brilliantly as well, and if you put them in a carrier oil, they will actually soak into the skin better than if you just do them direct on the skin. So when you put them in a carrier oil, it breaks them down and the skin absorbs them better, and it actually goes through. Using them just like I did then, one drop, that will still soak into the skin, but more of it evaporates than soaks in. So when I put it on my hand and breathed it in, that's fine, because I actually got a big hit of it, where just putting it on my hand, I'm only going to get a little bit of it actually absorb in. So if I have it with a carrier oil or use it in a roller with carrier, then it's going to absorb in so much better. Now, the one that I did smell, and it smells great, is lemon. Now, this is one of the few, and not all of them, but for some of them, we can put them into our cooking or our water. I know when we did the Wanderlust Festival, Carmelita made cookies with the lemon oil, and they were really nice. I figure, lemons go off in your house, so if you are stuck in your house for a few weeks but you need to do some cooking and you want the lemon in it, or your recipe asks for lemon, or if you're making custard and it asks for the lemon rind, whatever, then a drop of lemon will work. Okay. When it comes to putting it into my cooking or the lemon into my water, it definitely, you've got to be confident in the quality and the purity of your oils. And that's another reason why I go with doTERRA, because I really do believe that the testing that they do, that everything they do makes the oil safe. And you can smell the difference. You seriously can smell the difference between a good oil and one that's not so good. So food additives, not all the oils can be used that way, but a few of your citrus ones. I like the green mandarin in my water. I only put a drop. That's ample. I've been putting a drop of green mandarin and a drop of celery seed lately, and I'm finding that one, it tastes interesting. I like the green mandarin by itself, it's like cordial, but with the celery seed, it's quite good, but it works on the joints, on the arthritis that I've been getting, so that's been working really well. My hands, I haven't dropped my phone in in a couple of weeks, actually. At one stage there, I was dropping it all the time because my fingers just weren't reacting as quick as I needed them to, and so I started using the celery seed to help with that inflammation. That was a discussion I'd had with Phil Morphew, actually, and he said quite a few women were going through very similar things where we'd had a bit of an inflammatory response, and I think it was to all the gum stunk that was in the air from the fires. So my body reacted by pretty much just going arthritic from head to toe. So it's feeling much better now. So I've been using just a couple of those natural things. Someone had said to me, oh, drink celery juice. And I know that you can't replace the food. And I did it for 2 weeks while I waited for my celery seed oil to arrive. I couldn't keep drinking celery juice. So it's more a one-off thing. It's not something I could have done every day. So, but the celery seed is quite easy because I put it into my water. So I'm getting my water intake and I'm getting the qualities of those oils. So that's a great way to do it. Safety-wise, just be really aware of what you are using and what you're doing if you do it that way. So next, some safety tips. There are some. Photosensitivity is one. Now, Lynette mentioned that she's been using wild orange oil. I love wild orange oil. It is a really bright smelling, great oil. It's also photosensitive, which means that if I was to put a drop of orange on my hand and, rub my arm, whatever, and then go out in the sun, wherever I rubbed my arm, well, I'm likely to get a really weird suntan from that because the oils are photosensitive and so they can affect your skin. So like every day I use my Intune. That's this one. I use my Intune every day, and every day I roll it here. So you can imagine if it had orange in it and I go out in the sun, that I would have a really weird streaky tan. So not the best idea. I can put it on my hand and smell it. That's not going to cause photosensitivity. It is when it is on the skin that sees the light that it is. So be aware of photosensitive oils. If you do have the Oil Life book, it actually, on every oil, it tells you if it is photosensitive or not. And I think you'll find on the bottles as well, there is a warning about photosensitivity. As a general rule, it's citrus oils will do that for you. So they're the photosensitive ones. Some of your herbs and spices are classified as hot oils. And whilst I've never had the weird tan from the orange, I learnt about the hot oils the hard way. So cinnamon is a beautiful oil. It does a myriad of things. But the thing it does do is if you get it on delicate spots, it hurts. Okay, so at the moment we're all learning not to touch our face, okay? Don't touch our eyes, our nose and our mouth because those areas are really delicate. So we can carry it on our hand and not have any effect, but the minute we touch those areas, because of the sensitivity, that is where the virus at the moment can get into our body. So with hot oils, same thing. Like I can put cinnamon on my hand and not have a reaction to it. But years ago I was making something, I think I was making bath bombs, and I had cinnamon on my hand and I didn't even think about it. And I just rubbed my nose, and within seconds it came up in a big red welty thing, and it was really really sore, and you could feel it burning. Lynette's just said she had oregano on her throat, and same story, really hot. And they do amazing things, but you've got to use them properly. And I'm going to guess Lynette, like me, learnt the lesson once, don't ever need to go back there. So I still use cinnamon, but I'm very conscious of getting it on my hands and where I put my hands afterwards. Now, to stop that burning, you can't use water, okay, because water and oils don't mix. Okay, so it's not going to break it down or get it off or whatever. You need to use like your fractionated coconut oil or whole fat milk will do the trick as well. Okay, that will break it down and get rid of that burning. So if you do that, grab that. Now that info is on my website. So it is there under Essential Oils 101. So that tool, that info is at your fingertips all the time. Okay, avoid areas, eyes, ears, inside the ear canal, up the nose. These aren't places that you want to put your oils. Okay, if you have a headache, then yes, you can put oil around here. Okay, just be careful not to get it into your eye. Now with that, if you then put the oil here and go lay down, just be careful it doesn't drip into your eye. So make sure that you've rubbed it back towards the scalp. Okay, with the nose, yes, you can put easy air. You can put easy air across here. You can put it here. Don't put it up your nose. It doesn't need to be there. Okay, if you're using Roman chamomile for a baby who's teething, then, you know, the pain or the earache may be in the ear. Don't put the oil in the ear. Roll it at the back here, roll it down the jawline, but don't put it in the ear. Okay, ear aches around the back there and here will help. Okay, here with clove for a toothache will help. You don't have to actually put it into the those delicate areas. Okay, fractionated coconut oil is a brilliant oil to dilute in. There are many others, and years ago we used to always talk about almond oil, and I was never a big fan of it. I always found almond oil very thick, so it would soak into my skin, but I did find it quite thick and heavy, so I preferred to use jojoba oil. And now that fractionated coconut oil is a thing, I love it because it's very much that texture of the jojoba oil. You can put it on your skin and you can literally then feel that it has soaked straight in. Being fractionated, that's why it doesn't go solid in the bottle, and that's okay. That's a good thing because we want them to stay stable. And once you do put them on, they will get straight into the skin. Now, one of the things it doesn't talk about on my course, and this is just a little fact that I learned years ago and I love it, is that once they do soak into your skin and your body absorbs them and they go through head to toe through all your anacoboid system and your lymphatic system and everything, they leave your body. They leave via your breath, via your sweat, through your lymph nodes, via your urine, breath. I think that's all the ways. But they leave, and in 24 hours there is no trace of anything in your body at all. So if you've had a massive migraine and you've used ice blue or lavender or peppermint or past tense, then once the migraine has gone and you've stopped using the oil, within 24 hours there is no residue sitting on your liver or your kidneys, which means next time you get a headache or a migraine and you want to use those same oils, you can, and you can still use them in the same quantity because you haven't built up an immunity to them. Where with some of your over-the-counter drugs, you actually build up a immunity because there are traces of it left on your kidneys and your liver and different things. So using your oils, there are no traces left there and they completely leave your body. So that's why we can continue to use them all the time. Yeah, it's an interesting fact. I liked it. It was that one got me years ago. Okay, safe storage. We do need to look after them. We don't want to lost. Oh, okay, I'm back. Sorry, my screen went blank. Okay, safe storage. We do need to keep them away from kids. My kids are 12 and 14. They've got a little bit of an idea of what they're doing now, so I'm comfortable with them grabbing the oil. But I know Charmaine's got younger ones who, you know, they probably are well versed in mum's toolbox, and so they know not to touch them. Most of the time, if they were to take the lid off and get them, it's just going to be a yucky taste and they won't drink much. But if they happen to have got some, yeah, it's not good. So the really, really volatile ones have childproof lids on them. You can replace all your lids. If you've got like little monsters, you can replace all your lids with childproof lids. Otherwise, just keep them in a box, keep them out of reach. G'day Renee and Donna and the others that have joined us since we started. Yeah, keep them out of reach, put lids on them. They all have drippers inside. It is really important to leave that dripper in there because that does work on that safety issue, because they will only get like a little bit out at a time. Some of the oils, myrrh for example, is really thick. Okay, now myrrh, vetiver, patchouli sometimes, it's really, really tempting to flick that little lid off and just leave it off, because it's easier and quicker to count out one drop without it on. But if you knock it over, you lose an entire bottle of myrrh, and myrrh's not cheap, okay? It's very resinous, it's very thick, it would actually leave a really disgusting mark on whatever you've knocked it onto. And if the kids were to get hold of it, that's a lot of oil, and it would actually do some pretty major damage. So I would be making sure, regardless of the oil, that that little lid is always on. And you know what? If you need to use an oil that requires patience, today you need to learn patience and just wait and do it. There are 2 little holes in each lid, so you'll find if you've got the big hole facing down and the little hole facing up, the air can get in and the oil can get out. And so it's got naught to do with the big hole in the middle of that thing. It is actually the little dots on this part here. Okay, there's little dots in that part, so not that bit, but in here is where the oil actually does come out. So yeah, patience sometimes is the virtue. You'll find, like, you can see it straight away which oils are thick. Like that one rolls really quickly. Okay, I can't show you the other one because I don't have one of the resinous ones in this box. They're in the other box, but all good. Righto, keep out of reach of children. The colour of the glass. Now, a lot of people ask me this because there are some oils that we have, for example, that are in clear glass bottles. It's really only some of the rollers, and I think this one is now in a brown one as well. I sell brown, blue, pink, white, like all sorts of coloured bottles. Now, the glass is the important bit, that they are stored in glass. Glass is a more solid. Oils can eat into plastics, so unless it is specifically a plastic that you can use with oils, glass is the option. For the kids, there are some options. I know Jenny puts hers in little what are they called? Snorter things. They're inhalers. Got it. Okay, can use them in inhalers. You can use them in spritzers. There are ways that you can use them that aren't in glass, but glass is definitely the best. And you'll find that most oils and most roller bottles are a relatively thick glass bottle. I have dropped them. They have bounced. I don't know how many times they'd bounce, so just be careful. The colour though, now brown definitely stops UV rays and things from getting into the bottles, so the darker the bottle the better. Ultimately, if you're going to just keep it in your handbag or in the drawer in the bathroom, then the colour doesn't matter. Okay, if you're going to sit it up on the bench in full direct sun, then yeah, it better be in a brown bottle. If you're going to keep it in the drawer, it really doesn't matter. So but brown is pretty much the standard. Brown, blue, purple. I find my purple's not as dark. I think the purple one looks good, but good for your pocket or your handbag, not so much for sitting on the bench in the sunlight. Righto, so let's have a chat about some of the oils. Now, if any of you have logged into my website, so that is theoilhut.com, and gone down to the side where it says Essential Oils 101. That's basically the course that we're doing today, or the class that we're doing today. And as you scroll down there, you'll find, let me see if I can just quickly show you. So I can't see if you can see. So when you scroll down, there is a whole pile of oils there. Okay, so with that, when we click on an oil, it's going to bring us up a whole pile of information on that oil as well. So there is some great information on that site for you. Now let me get back to where I was. Okay, so we're going to talk about I know exactly which oils we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the basics, the ones that every house should have. Now, at the moment, everyone is being, oh, that's a really broad statement, isn't it? But a lot of people are working on base chakra energy. They're being very reactive as opposed to proactive. So for me, when it comes to my oils, I need to be proactive. I need to have them here for when I need them, not go, oh my God, I need it, and then try to find it, because within the 3 days it takes to find it or have it arrive or get here or contact my friend that's got it, whatever, then the crisis is over. I've found something else, because, you know, if you have hurt yourself or done something, you need to use that oil now. So the doTERRA have lots and lots of kits, and in the in the website you'll find them all, but the one I want to tell you about today is this one here. Okay, so we're going to just quickly talk about these 10 oils, because these 10 oils will cover pretty much everything that's going to happen. They're going to cover stress, they're going to cover anxiety, they're going to cover sore muscles, headaches, they're going to smell good, they're going to boost your immunity, they're going to help you breathe, they're going to do lots and lots of things depending on which way you use them and if you combine them together. So those 10 oils are amazing, and I'm going to talk about those. Now, the first one on my list, we'll do it in the order of the page here, is Digestion. Okay, so Digestion is for digestive support. Okay, so it provides, if I hold it up there that way, okay, provides soothing, you can use it on the abdomen. Okay, you can use it, I love the instructions say use it when you're flying. No one's flying at the moment, but I have used it for motion sickness, and it is brilliant for motion sickness. So 1 drop in your belly button, and that works a charm. Or if you've bought the kit in this form, or have the oils in roller form, then with that one you can roll it around the belly, and so same thing, it'll give you the same results, but it will help an upset stomach. You can use it when you are after you've eaten. If you've sort of eaten that big meal and gone, oh, I shouldn't have done that, then put a drop of Digestion around your belly, and that will just help your body absorb and do its job better. So Digestion is a really handy one. Now, if you tend to have a bit of a reaction and you've done the whole medical route, you know that it's not celiac or for whatever it is, but you're just not feeling right, or you just want a little bit of digestive help, then you can put a drop of Digestion in your water. Personally, I didn't like the taste of it so much, very pepperminty, and I don't particularly like peppermint, but I added a drop of lemon to it, and that changed the taste. Still gave me all that all the benefit of it, but I enjoyed the taste better. And the lemon helps with the absorption of proteins anyway, so together they worked really well, and that way I could use the Digestion and feel comfortable with it. The next oil is Easy Air. Okay, so Easy Air is the respiratory support oil. It's the one that does help to open the airways, open the lungs, clear the sinuses, do those things. So you can put that in your diffuser. And here's a big tip: if you put it in the diffuser in the bedroom, okay, it'll help with snoring. So that's a nice one. It's not romantic smelling, but man, if it stops the snoring, I'm there. That's not a bad idea at all. So that one's good. Oh, okay. Lynette says she uses Digestion for her sinuses, where for me this would be my go-to. But saying that, when you look at it, so Digestion and Easy Air, when you look at the ingredients, there will be a couple of crossovers. So you'll find that that particular individual oil is the one that's working with your sinuses. So it's about, I suppose, getting creative with what you've got. If you've run out of Easy Air and you see that Easy Air has lavender in it, then find another blend that has lavender in it, knowing that lavender is going to help clear the sinuses. So good tip. Okay, Easy Air, sinuses, that's where I was at. With the roller, roll it across here. Okay, if you're going to do that for kids, this is broken down, but my recommendation would be to break it down even further. Okay, other than that, drop in the bath. You can put it, you can go the really old-fashioned way with, you know, the bowl of hot water, and put your head over that, put a drop of that in the bowl of hot water. Now, obviously, don't do that with kids and leave them sitting at the dining table. Make sure that they're supervised the entire time if you're doing that. But I do remember that one as a kid being a really effective way to clear sinuses and get congestion and things off the chest. So that one's a really good one. And you can use this one that way. Now, this one also comes in another kit called the seasonal support kit. It's all oils around colds and flus and that. So there's plenty of kits. Like I said, this one, the one I'm talking about, the Home Essentials, is, for me, it's the first aid kit. It's the one you have to have at home, and then there are lots of other ones to build from that. So Easy Air. All right, frankincense. This is the one that I've needed all day. This one here, frankincense. Okay, frankincense is the most divine oil. Love it. I can smell it like that and just immediately feel myself calm down. So yeah, if I've been talking really fast, that's got to do with nerves. That's the way that I react when I'm nervous, and when I'm doing things that I'm not 100% comfortable with. Whilst I love chatting about the oils, it's more the video thing that's the trigger for me, as opposed to actually talking about oils. Okay, so frankincense. I can. One drop on my hand. I know. It's beautiful. Now, talking about moments in time. I mentioned those at the very beginning. Moments in time. Frankincense for me was a moment in time. It's an oil that I've used for a long, long time. I think I had run out of it, and I was looking at getting some new oils, and that was when I found doTERRA. And at the time, I was actually on a very different trajectory. I actually was about to fill out the paperwork and run for my local council. That I kind of thought that was the direction that I was being pulled. I ran out of oils. I needed some vitamins. I'm a tight ass. I wanted to pay wholesale for them, so I got a kit. And I literally got the kit, and this oil was in it. So I didn't even buy the oils. I bought the rollers when I started, but this one was in it. And I remember sort of just going, oh, great. Oh, my God. And it was a moment of clarity. I didn't run for council, and I'm an oil lady again. And I walked away from oils for about 5 years. So it was just that moment of clarity for me that this was the direction that I needed to be, and frankincense was my moment in time. Whilst I don't use it like this every day, I use my Intune every single day, and Intune has frankincense in it, so it's a beautiful oil. Frankincense is for the mentally overwhelmed. So at the moment, we should be all literally snorting this stuff like it is so good. But it works on, helps, according to this, relaxation. It helps with the skin imperfections. But it is for, like I said, the mentally overwhelmed. It actually helps to calm the brain. When you go to sleep of a night time, everyone's like, use lavender, use lavender. Lavender calms the central nervous system, okay? That's not my issue when I go to sleep. My issue when I go to bed is everything that is going on in here, reliving my entire day, going back over everything, processing everything. So using frankincense during the day processes that for me. It helps me process my entire day. It's like the filing cabinet in my head. It puts everything where it should be so that when I need something, I can access it, as opposed to just having everything dumped in there and trying to find that little bit of information that I'm after. So for me, frankincense is amazing. So comes like this in a roller, comes like this in your kit. Now, I'm not going to talk about prices and stuff, except I'm going to mention this. That kit it has 10 oils that are all 15 ml size other than the ice blue. That kit is $330. This oil by itself is $120. So I find that there is actually about 3 oils that make up the price of that kit. So it is a really good price, a really good way to get hold of your oils. So frankincense, beautiful oil. Now you can add frankincense to all sorts of things. You can just breathe it in, just do the thing. We have so much information being thrown at us at the moment, and every day we wake up and the world has changed again, which is really scary, because I don't think any of us have ever seen the world and the rules and the social niceties. I don't think we've ever in any circumstance seen the world change so quickly, and we have to adapt really, really quickly to what's going on. So frankincense is definitely a go-to oil. It is a calming, it is that mind clearing the clutter, it is just that getting rid of the overwhelm, so feeling confident and safe within yourself, that because we know that we're going to get through this, we know that we're going to be okay. But then we get all those other voices that niggle at us. So frankincense is definitely my go-to. It is a beautiful oil. Okay, the next one, I have found that that I've been sitting a lot more than normal. I'm not doing as much walking around, because whilst yes, my house is a good size, there's only so many times I can walk up and down the hallway. So ice blue. Last night when I went to bed, my legs were aching, and they'd been aching the night before, and I thought I'll go to bed, lift them up a little bit, they'll be okay. When I got up yesterday morning, they were still sore, and they didn't get better during the day. So last night when I went to bed, I used my ice blue on them, and I just rolled it up and down around the back of my legs where I could feel the pain the worst. I did it there, still put them up a little bit when I went to bed on a pillow, and I've woken up this morning and they are feeling 100% on what they were yesterday. Whenever my injury from my car accident plays up and my back hurts or my shoulder, this is the oil that I go to. I use this on it, and I find that it does get in very quickly. Lavender's great for headaches. Past tense is great for headaches and migraines. Ice blue, migraines. If it's a migraine, just go straight for the ice blue, and it is good. It's a very strong smelling one. It will make your eyes water. For a migraine, back of the neck, I find sort of that knobbly bit at the bottom of my skull. That is a really good place to be using my ice blue to help with a migraine. Other than that, this form, again, in the roller is really handy, and if I use that one, I roll it, and I actually roll it up the path of the migraine, because sometimes I can actually feel it. If you've got the one that sort of comes across here, use it there, but again, just be really wary or conscious of the fact that it might roll down into your eyes, so be very careful of that one. Okay, ice blue smells very strong. It's an athletic blend. It's like a Denka rub type thing. It does come in a rub for that particular purpose, to put onto sore muscles and things. Otherwise, like this. I know that there are a few massage therapists out there that use this if they've got somebody that's really sore. And it is one of the oils that's in the Aroma Touch massage that I do. And whilst with the Aroma Touch, it's not a heavy massage, it's not a deep tissue, whatever, using this oil still gets into and relaxes those muscles. So that is a beautiful one. Okay, I've mentioned this one a few times, the lavender. Okay, pretty much lavender. Cuts, burns, coughs, sneeze, everything. It is a good general oil. Relatively safe to use on the kids. You know, you can use one drop directly on their feet, rub it in, that'll help them sleep. Big tip, again, learned experience, you've got to love it. There are things that you only do once. So lavender, really good for cuts and things like that. I had blisters on my feet one day, and when I went to bed, I put lavender on the blisters, put enough to cover all the blisters, didn't even think about it. Didn't sleep either, because instead of calming my central nervous system, it did the opposite. So with the oils, sometimes less is definitely better, and if you're not getting the result that you want, change the quantity that you're using. So with the lavender, like I said, it will help you sleep, it will help that, but less. Don't get carried away. So in my diffuser, for example, I often talk about like 6 oils is 6 drops is a good number in your diffuser, and that will work really good on that whole physical thing. When you're sleeping over night time, cut it back to 3 and see how you go. You don't necessarily need as much, smaller space, more confined, you're not moving around, so 3 drops is usually ample. Okay, lavender. You can do that hand thing, that'll help calm you down. I've used it on a baby when I was babysitting. I put a drop on my hands and just patted her head, and that calmed her down beautifully, so that was really good. So it is a bit of a universally known miracle in a bottle type oil, so you do need that one. Okay, lemon oil. I've mentioned that you can pop that one in your water. It is great. It's good for sore throats. It's good for, I'm full of good tips, Charmaine. I've got lots. You just have to talk to me occasionally. Okay, which I know you do. You're great. We've shared a few good tips together. Okay, lemon neutralizes odors. So you could put it in the bathroom. You could put a drop in the toilet, in the roll. Oh, that was a bit rude, wasn't it? Inside the toilet roll. Okay, it elevates the mood. It is an uplifting oil, and it also works as detoxifier, things like that. And you can put a drop on your washcloth when you're cleaning your kitchen benches down. Now, with the sore throats and everything going on, I'm going to give you another handy tip, because this one I love. Years ago, before I discovered what I'm going to show you here, years ago, if you had a sore throat, laryngitis, that sort of raspy sore throat, then you needed to get out your carrier oil, your clary sage, your lemon oil, mix them all together and rub them into your throat. When I discovered doTERRA, they have this amazing blend called Clary Calm, which works for all sorts of hormonal issues. It works on menopause, it works on teenagers. My girls both have their own bottle. It works on hot flushes, it works on all sorts of things. But for a sore throat, the major ingredient in this is clary sage. And it's in a carrier, so I just rub it straight onto my neck. Okay, roll it straight onto my neck. I put my drop of lemon in my hand, and then I can rub it in, and that is going to help with my sore throat. And no laryngitis for me. Ha ha. Okay, next oil. Next oil is On Guard. Now, why I decided to do the basics, do the Home Essentials kit and talk about some of the basic oils, is for this particular oil. Now, On Guard is amazing. Okay, it is for immune support. It is called our protective blend. doTERRA have an entire range of cleaning products based on On Guard. So laundry detergent, bench wipes, the whole thing, everything based on this. The toothpaste, the mouthwash is all based on this oil, because the oils in this help to protect us from germs and things going around. You can put it into your diffuser for the airborne threats, but you can also use it like in the roller form. Okay, in the roller form, base of the kids' feet every day. If you're going out at the moment, base of your feet every day, that's a really good one. But here's the thing, whilst I have lots of oils because I do a market and I take oils with me, I have none of this one left. So that's where I was getting to, Charmaine. So the way to get it is to actually order a kit. They have enough in the kits at this stage, okay? And if you are after it in a kit or any order at the moment, normally it's about 3 days. It can be 3 to 5 because they have had a bit of a run on orders at the moment. And On Guard is in quite a few of the kits. So if you go back up on my website to the kit section, you'll see which kits have On Guard in it, and that way you'll know which kit is the right kit for you. With that, at the moment, my upline's doing more. My team's involved in a thing called Diamond Club, which means anyone that fills out this form and sends it to me for processing gets extra oils. So there's a whole pile of freebie oils involved with doing it that way. You then have a wholesale account, you get your oils delivered to your door in under a week, and you have access to wholesale prices for 12 months. So it is a way to do it, and if you want to do that, just send me a message, PM me, and I'll make sure you've got all the right information. On Guard, it is amazing. Now there aren't I have no of this one available. I do still have a couple of bottles of the roller available or sitting here in stock. The cleaning products, I've got some of those as well. On Guard, it is beautiful. I love it. Lynette said she's got it in her burner with some orange and the Purify. That's great for the airborne things, and it just I actually really like the smell of it because it's clove. It's really homely. Clove, cinnamon, and then it's got some other ones, but they're all germ fighting oils, so it is a really good one. So On Guard. Righto, we're nearly there, guys. So thank you for hanging with me and listening along. And I know there's been a few comments. There hasn't been any questions, so that's all right. I'm available for questions afterwards anyway. Oregano is brilliant. Oh, nice. That's so Lynette's putting it in her chai latte. Very good, in her chai latte. The cinnamon, because it tastes amazing, and again, like I said, boosts the immune system. Okay, oregano is the next one, and when I first got my kit, I was like, and what am I supposed to do with oregano? Because it wasn't an oil that I knew of, but since then, I have discovered that oregano is amazing. Okay, it is a natural antibiotic, so it helps you fight things off. It helps you feel better. It breaks up the congestion on the chest. You use it with On Guard and Easy Air, and it will break up that ammonia type coughs and things that the kids get. It is brilliant. And once again, if you don't have the fresh herb and you're cooking spaghetti, then put a toothpick into the bottle and stir it into your spaghetti, and you'll have oregano in your spaghetti, and it is beautiful. So oregano, warts, you can use it on warts as well, so any sort of infections that way. So again, according to my computer here, natural immune support is one of the things that it does. Peppermint you can definitely add to your tea. And make peppermint tea. It is cooling and invigorating. It cools the body, calms head tension, can be used for headaches as well. Again, just be wary of the eyes. We've used it in cooking. We had at the festival, what did we have peppermint in? In the bliss balls. We had it in the bliss balls, that's right. So it was great with that one. Again, you can, I'm not sure that I'd put it in water, but then I don't particularly like, good tip. Thank you, Charmaine. I don't like the smell of peppermint particularly, although I must say in the last couple of years I have actually become more open to it. Before, just opening a peppermint bottle would make me want to throw up, so it would have that opposite effect for me. I still don't use peppermint toothpaste. I can't cope with that, but I am doing okay with the peppermint. Yeah, thanks, Lynette. So Charmaine's comment was that it breaks down the biofilm of parasites, so I'm not sure whether she's talking about the oregano or the peppermint. I'm thinking it could be the oregano maybe, or the On Guard. Okay, so peppermint, that about covers it, I think. Now, we've talked about like your Easy Air, for example, that has a combination of oils in it. So peppermint's one that you could add to your easy air if you wanted to, or you could add to oregano. I thought it was the oregano. Thank you, Charmaine. So for those that missed that one, oregano natural immune support, does like cleansing properties, does a lot of stuff, and it helps break down the biofilm of parasites too. So I'm guessing then that that could be one that we could mix with tea tree, you know, in the off chance that that we're still trying to fight lice at the moment. I saw a video yesterday that was awesome about the fact that we are all in, or if we are all in isolation, that the kids won't get head lice because there's nowhere for them to jump from. So once we've treated them and got rid of them, then they should, if everyone goes into isolation, head lice should be a thing of the past. How amazing would that be? If they're not, then let's just get back to some of our oils, and tea tree is a really good one for the head lice as well. Beautifying, it's great for healthy scalp and hair. You can add it to a shampoo if your shampoo doesn't have too many chemicals in it. If you're using a relatively natural one, it's a really good one. You can use it for fungal type infections as well. So on your feet, patchouli would be my go-to, but tea tree is a good basic one. It would be a good basic one to have. I know. Imagine a world with no head lice. No wonder the whole what is it? The Holderness family did a whole song and dance about it yesterday. I cracked up when I saw that one. I loved it. Anyway, that is the 10 oils that is in that Home Essentials kit. They are also the same 10 oils that are in the smaller kit. So it does only come with 5 ml bottles. So it's in the Family Essentials kit, the Home Essentials kit. It is also in the Nature Solutions kit. So they are a brilliant 10 oils to have on hand for proactive responses to health and emotional issues that you have going on in your house. Like I said, they will work on all sorts of areas, and then there's a whole pile of other oils that then add to that and help and support and complement those 10 oils. Now, there is one more that's on my little list here, and that is wild orange, and we've talked about that one a few times. It doesn't come in the kit, and that's because if you do get a kit through me, I give it to you. So wild orange is amazing, revitalising, uplifting, energising, elevates the mood. It's a good cleaner as well. You can use that one in your bathroom, kitchen benches, things like that. One drop on your hand, and it is a brilliant wake up. It is really like I used to say when you're driving home from work, a drop of peppermint in your hand will wake you up, because it really engages that front part of the brain and wakes you up, where the front part of the brain is often will go to sleep. Okay, if you're stressed or panicked, your front brain goes into shock, and so you can't access things, or it puts you to sleep. So if we wake that one up, then we can continue doing what needs to be done. So a drop of peppermint in your hand will do that if it's tired, but if it is just worn out and, you know, getting a bit sluggish and whatever, then a drop of wild orange into your hand and breathe that in will definitely sort of pick up the mood and wake up that part of the brain. So hopefully you got some great tips out of that. Hi Tara Lee, thanks for joining us. You'll have to watch us on replay. I think I've waffled on way too long as usual, but hopefully there are some good tips and some ideas and things in there. All the information that I've given you today is available on my website, so that is theoilhut.com. I also have a page and a group on Facebook. So the group is called Together Inspiring Amazing #Team Tia. But if you go onto that one and find that, there's lots and lots of info in there. I share inspiration, I share oils, I share blends, I share specials, we share in there all the time. So there's a lot of information in there, and on the page there are albums at the top and files, so you will find ebooks, you will find lots and lots of things there. So thanks for joining in, and thanks Charmaine for giving me the opportunity. Thank you. Bye. Oh, you know what, I'll hang here for 5 minutes in case anyone's got some questions. And finish my coffee, which is now cold. you know what, just message me if you've got the messages. And yeah, jump on to theoilhut.com for information. The Oil Hut on Facebook is where you will find out when and if I do markets again, but I will be doing some shorter spotlight ones on specific oils and things like that over the next couple of weeks. So if anyone does have a particular topic they want to know about, send me a message and I will either send you the information, direct you in the direction of the information, or I'll do a live and answer that on the Oil Hut. Okay, have a good day, stay safe. Bye.